Western Cape Transport MEC Bonginkosi Madikizela is set to meet with taxi industry leaders this morning after several shootings took place at the Bellville taxi rank in Cape Town on Thursday and Friday. A commuter was shot dead on Friday afternoon, while another commuter and a taxi operator were injured. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana joins us live ahead of a meeting between the MEC and taxi associations. Athi, a very good morning to you. It's been a week of escalating tensions between the different taxi associations. How is the MEC hoping to intervene?
A week of deadly shootings here in the Western Cape that have led, of course, to the death of a commuter and unfortunately another one getting injured at the Bellville taxi rank. But of course, you mentioned the MEC trying to mediate and trying to restore some kind of calm during these taxi-related shootings in the Western Cape. He is scheduled to get into a meeting from any minute now, so I don't want to keep him any longer. Thank you, MEC, for waiting on us and for taking this time to speak to us. What a busy year it has been for you in as far as taxi-related shootings are concerned and all the violence that has been happening around the taxi ranks here in the province.
It's been many years in 1 year. Look, it's very concerning to see what is happening in the taxi industry. We are dealing with pandemic, but other problems, seems to be rearing their ugly heads. As you just said now, I'm again meeting with the leadership of the taxi industry this morning at 10. But honestly, Athi, the answers must come from them. I mean, if I can be frank here, is that the people who hire hitmen are the taxi bosses. And I must commend SAPS because, as you know, 7 suspects have been arrested after the shooting on Friday, and we will do that as government. But the meeting with the taxi leaders, today, I want them to assist us because there is no way that we can continue with this and have meetings when they know exactly that really the answers lie with them.
MEC, I presume, of course, that the root cause of it is disputes over the routes. However, you have met with them previously. It was almost last month when I spoke to you and you were scheduled to meet with them in another meeting. So what are you getting? Are you getting to some kind of resolution? Because I think all the time when this thing happens, it's about the routes. Is there any way where the Western Cape Transport Department can assist in specifically targeting these routes and making sure that they're evenly distributed?
Look, obviously we have our role to play as government. They've raised the issue of permits and, as you said, the issue of routes. But we are seeing an old feud here, between associations that are associated with Kodeta and those that are associated with Kata. And of course, I have been engaging, with them. We even have the services of the mediator, Athi. So we, from our side, we are doing everything we can to make sure that we minimize the challenges. But, it will come to a point where I'm left with no choice but to close the ranks where this thing is happening. And they must understand that once it gets to that, even though I know that the commuters will suffer, but we cannot risk, commuters being caught in crossfire because the taxi industry leaders are unable to resolve their issues. So that is where it is going to now, if they are unable to assist us to find a solution. Because I have said to them several times before that differences between this industry must not result in killing, because that's not a solution. So that is what I'm hoping, that after today's meeting, we will find some way to deal with these killings, because they are not assisting any of us.
Do they want permits? Are you able to give them permits for these routes, MEC? No,
the big issue here is that you'll find that a particular route should be operated by a particular association that is either under Kata or under Kodeta. And you'll find that the next association, will then, flex its muscles and want to invade that route, even though the route is operated by a known operator with permits. So that is a situation. So people cannot just invade a route that is operated by another association. And that is what we need to deal with.
All right, MEC, thank you so much for your time. We know we can't keep you any longer. The MEC for Public Works and Transport here in the Western Cape, Bonginkosi Madikizela, saying if push comes to shove, some of these taxi ranks will have to be shut down, specifically the ones where we have seen these deadly shootings taking place. He is now going to be meeting with some of the taxi leaders to try and resolve this latest dispute that has resulted in the death of a commuter, another one being injured, and of course, luckily, through the work of the South African police in the province, the arrest of 7 suspects were due to appear soon in court.